Archbishop Fulton Sheen once said, "There was never a preacher like the dying Christ. There was never a congregation like that which gathered about the pulpit of the cross. There was never a sermon like the 7 last words."
It was now about noon, and darkness came over the whole land until 3 in the afternoon, while the sun's light failed, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Then Jesus, crying with a loud voice, said, "Father, into your hands I commend my spirit." Having said this, he breathed his last. I think it's amazing that these are Christ's last words, because it is in these words, in his final breath, that he puts his life into the hands of God. And what I love about it is that Christ calls us to do the same. He calls us to lift up our lives to God, to put our lives, our whole lives, into God's hands. I strive to give my entire life to God. And it's not an easy thing to do, but no one ever said that love was ever going to be easy. And I think what I've learned is that it's important to find love in struggle, because we can find love in the death of Christ, because we can find salvation in the death of Christ. No matter where you're at, no matter what problem you're facing, what situation you're in, it's your situation. You don't have to let it define the meaning of your life. And I learned this because a deacon once said in his homily that whatever problem you're facing, whatever situation you're in, it's not your life, because Christ is your life. And I think that growing up, I constantly let my situation, I thought that that was my life. And I think that for me, growing up gay and growing up Catholic, there was always a battle there. There was always inner turmoil, and it was tough. I definitely faced a lot of adversity, and I faced a lot of struggle when Christ says, "Father, into your hands I commend my spirit." He's putting his entire life into God's hands. He's giving up what the enemy thinks that they are taking from him. So in a sense, to me, he's turning the tables on them. He's totally throwing them off. He's reversing the balance of the situation. And for me, what I strive to do is to turn the tables on society. Because society has told me that being gay is all I'm ever going to be. It's all I'm ever going to measure up to. But what they don't understand is that I have more than just my sexuality. I have my faith. And that's something that no one can ever take away from me, but it's something that I'm always willing to give. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing in doing this reflection, is I'm giving my faith. I've even heard stuff like, "Oh, how can you be so self-hating as to be gay and Catholic?" Which I always thought was a funny idea, because, I mean, I look at myself and I'm like, you think I hate myself? Okay, look at me. You think I hate myself? So society likes to tell me that the church is going to condemn me, or the church hates me for being gay. But the Catechism of the Catholic Church tells me that homosexuals deserve respect, and any disrespect in their regard should be avoided. And that I deserve the same respect as any heterosexual person out there. And I think that the funny thing about that is that it was in the church that I found solace. It was in the church that Christ found me. And because God is love, it was in the church that I found love. True love. Not what society likes to tell me love is. Because I'm always told that one day I'll find the boy that will love me for me. Hey, I'll admit there are times where, I would think that, like, God, I want someone here to, I don't know, hold my hand or whatever and do that kind of relationship thing. But then, why would I look for someone who can hold my hand when Christ holds my life in his hands? He holds my heart in his hands. And, when I was growing up, I watched a lot of Disney. And I was always told that, someday my prince will come. But the Prince of Peace, he already found me.